Open your ears and listen every Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. on 88.5 Kings FM. Truth on the air, calling on me. From Moravian streets to the villages far. We're speaking the truth, no matter who you are. Best issue, stand up, the future is now. No stories of old. We teach a light on Kings and making voices be heard. Every question counts, every single word. Evening light breaking, people tuning in. Different voices calling, let the talk begin. From corruption talk to the people them cry. Asking real questions like why? Community voices, youth them rising strong. Mama them calling, saying things been wrong. We need solution, not let me talk. Time to fix the system, time to take a walk. No fear, no favor. We're speaking it clear. The truth might be bitter, but the people must hear. From county to county, the message goes spread. Better Liberia, that's the road ahead. Face the issue, no hiding again. Truth on the airwaves, calling us citizens. From Liberia to the villages far, we're speaking the truth, no matter who you are. Face the issue, stand up, people. The future is now, not stories of old. We teach a light on the radio, making voices be heard. Every question counts, every single word. Politicians talk, but the people want proof. No more empty promise, we demand the truth. Every person on give jobs for the youth. Let the leaders answer, let them show the truth. From the 15 counties, every citizen matter, no one escapes. This now we country, we all gotta say. Face the issues now, don't delay. Talk your mind, stand your ground. Let the truth come out loud, make it shake the town. Face the issues, no more silence. We bury our rising, we're making it proud.
Colin, speak up, your voice matters. This is more than a show. It's a movement.
Our government secure all finance of all road networks in the country. Assign electricity financing 10 years.
When Liberians are desperate for leadership to deliver, desperate to know the truth, and desperate to know the real issues confronting the country.
They will see this election, you will not lie. Because if you do it, it's the end of the country.
Well, and the government, all the ministers in the government, they lie. They don't put also everything they say, they don't say the truth.
The people of Liberia, if you allow the opposition to win, you will suffer. The Liberians will suffer.
And the facts surrounding those issues, there is only one forum that provides the answers. Face the issue on Kings FM. John Anthony April Godson Williams, commonly known as Teacher Live, from Monday to Friday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. for the most analytical and most stimulating conversation training for the day.
That's the funny thing about Unity Park. In a football game, if we were playing a tournament, they beat us today and we drop out of the tournament. Our focus now is not autonomy again. Unity Party get their opponent, they bring people, they lead, they bring people, then they come back to their team, then they defeated. Everyone said that they put a crack away. You know, but get sense, bro.
Or face the issue. We speak out the facts in advocating for the right of Liberia. Face the issue brings you logic, explain logic, and advance you to discuss with logic. It's Face the Issue. Comes on your airway from Monday to Friday at 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Kings FM 88.5. Don't miss it.
On to the Honorable the Supreme Court on the petition of writ of prohibition to prohibit the conduct of the judge. That does not mean we are discrediting the judge. No. First, we want to appreciate him, the manner and form he conducted the trial. This was a seriously, legally charged and intellectually engaging trial that he was able to manage it by the techniques and tactics of courtroom management to the extent that the case ended. To see the judge now, that we know with all of the caliber of lawyers that were before him, including a former Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, including a former judge of the ECOWAS Court, who was a lawyer before him, to conduct that trial in the manner and form for us to reach to the conclusion of that case, again, Hassel. But this post-disbandment of the jury investigation is ultra-virus, it's illegal, it's in violation of the law. And we don't want to believe that it is the judge that we know in the case. So that is what we have done today. There is a petition that has been filed today, and there is a stay order on that investigation, and we'll go to the Supreme Court to give our case. We have the laws in our favor. The laws are there. We just want to inform you. We're not fighting to influence any decision, but to inform you as to the developments that are unfolded there today and are unfolded. The next thing is this. These three jurors were asked in court, is this your verdict? The judge on every occasion in the trial told them, when you have any issue with anything that happened there, in the open court, tell me so we can address it. They said we have no issue. And we understand why all of these things are happening. Most of these jurors are public servants. We understand, we get intelligence that people are pressurizing these jurors in the places they work, and their jobs are under threat. And we don't believe in that investigation that I am unfolding because it is an attempt. It is an attempt to influence people over there, to lie on people, and for people to run with it as a propaganda machinery. The law is the law. The old age tradition of our country have said from almost 200 years on the existence of this country, from 1816 to present, in our jurisprudence, they said once the jurors have dispersed and resumed private status, recall becomes constitutionally dangerous and legally improper. In which case is that Death versus Belden, 5792S40 in 2016, U.S. Supreme Court opinion. There are other opinions. There is an opinion in Liberia here where the Liberian Supreme Court said when the juror has returned a verdict of acquittal and there is a complaint of jury tampering, the judge should not disband the jury. Let me not say they got that. When they return the verdict, they acquitted the man, but they are not yet disbanded. They stay under the jurisdiction of the court because everybody in open court. And a party makes an application to the court of jury tampering, the judge will stop that whole proceeding and conduct an investigation. That is the law. But when there is no complaint, while the jury have been pulled and then the verdict have been recorded and the parties have given thanks to the juror and they disbanded the juror and they go into their private life, you cannot, because it is issue of jurisdiction. The authority to call a jury about a proceeding in the February term of court is an issue of jurisdiction. The judge presently has no jurisdiction to review a proceeding of the last term, February term. He has no jurisdiction. He's a fine gentleman. He's a fine judge, smart judge, eloquent judge. But in this one, he's in error. He's in error. This is not with any disrespect to him. We appreciate him. We really admire him with the manner and form that he conducted the trial. And he did it well. Any attempt for somebody to come and impress on the court to revise a litigation that had gone through due process consistent with the Constitution and calling for an investigation is an attempt to even ask the judge to undermine his own decision. And we as arm of the court will not allow that to sit here. And that's why we went to the Supreme Court. Let the Supreme Court speak. We don't want favor from the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court must look at the law. That's what we want. And that's what the Supreme Court is all about. The law. Go and look at the law. They will look at the law and say, oh, yes, this is the law. And yeah, no, this is not the law. Finish. So that is what we call you for. And so on that basis, we want to say to you that we have filed a petition for the issuance of the writ of prohibition before the Honorable Supreme Court, and that there is a stay order on the investigation.
We have sent the we come. And while on our way, we have reached here to take out the poor somewhere in there to communicate the poor in a station room or right in the capital. Orderly in a professional investigation will be calling the party, calling the former official, calling the more give deference and respect to them. You know, I got to say you are not prepared for all and you want to call us. And so I know it is an attempt to get demoralized the former finance minister, keeping us that you're working the wrong way or working with, and when you're ready to. But they are going back. If the chairman is ready this time, he will write on again, and when he does that, this time we come again, he does the same thing, and they are not, in fact, taking on to the investigation with the
This is a witch hunt. This is a witch hunt. We cannot change the laws because of Samuel 12. We can't do that. The country will stay. We will go. We need to be reminded by history. There were powerful people in this country. Some of us who were young, little bit older in age, in the 80s, we saw people, men that we saw in this town. Certain time came, we saw them, that they were people who have never served government before. Government will come and government will go, but this is the law. We can't change the law. This is a witch hunt. Imagine, immediately after the verdict, the next day we receive a call and a letter, summary, the former finance minister again, for another criminal investigation. You don't have to be a politician or a political scientist to understand that this is not a witch hunt. This is witch hunt. This is witch hunt. If I were a prosecutor, I would not issue that kind of assignment or request. But this is witch hunt. And we listen to some practitioners even are inviting the finance minister. They said, even if they get you get authorized the money to go to somebody, spending agency, your duty is to follow up with that spending agency and ask them how they spend the money. Is that the authority under the PFM law of the Minister of Finance? No. The Minister of Finance, his authority is to spend the money, and when he's spending the money, he must have the authorized authority. Who is responsible? The spending agency will account for how they spend the money. That's why we'll have the GAC to conduct audit. So this is witch hunt. So when somebody tells me that because the finance minister authorized expenditure and you are going to make a follow-up, you kidding me? The finance minister of the country? But this is not good for our democracy. For those who don't know, some who are actors in our body politics, some of them were not here when we're in the conflict. Nobody prays for conflict in this country. They always say it. I want our country peaceful. But the point is, we are thinking that we must not repeat the history, the wrongs of the past. The people who repeat the wrong of the past that caused them the problem, they are people who are ignorant. And many actors, some of them were even sucking breast when we're in the dilemma of the 14 years. So they did not understand the 14 years from 1990 to present, the dilemma, the catastrophe that we experienced. Some of the very people who are all around insulting people when you speak as a Liberian, where you are a citizen and it's your right to speak, some of them were even sucking breast milk. They never knew what happened here. So when you say something, instead of them to listen and learn, they refuse. But history tells us that history is a raw material for political science. Political actors must be people who must digest history. Because if you don't understand your history, when you're making political decisions, you have problems in your public policy decisions. So to be a public policy administrator, you must be somebody who understands the raw material for political science. And that raw material is history. And so you must know what went wrong. Where are we? Where do we intend to go? This decision is a revisitation of the factors of the dark ages of Liberia. And this is wrong. To weaponize a legal process simply because of a political agenda is counterproductive to the future of our country. People are following us. International actors are following us. Some people are operating, they don't understand. Why will you leave from here now? You start pressurizing people who are self-adjure, you go and go do something. You go rest something. You measure, you allow on a person in. What is that? What is that? That this process is illegal. Samuel 12 is a free man. The fact that the verdict speaks to it. And the juror returned that day with a not guilty verdict. And the judge himself in open court declared that you are not guilty. And henceforth, leave from the prisoner bench and walk. You are a free man. Samuel 12 is a free man, along with Moses Cooper. And when we told the jurors that day in the final argument that today we start at the beginning of the documentation of the check and balance of our democracy to determine whether or not we go back or we retrospect or regress to our dark days, or you put in a check and balance on powerful power or powerful executive that will manipulate a political process under the disguise of legal proceedings. And we told them that when you make this decision to free the defendants, you will know when you walk out there, the country will be rejoicing even up into the money, and it came to pass. You think this is a joke? This is history. We call it the opportunity of history unfolding itself. The jury has spoken. The people have spoken. There can be no whims and caprices, naked brute forces that can overturn, or direct the decision of the unanimous, of the voluntary verdict returned by the court.
We have seen a systematic erosion of democracy. Executive overreach and open disregard for our constitution. Lawlessness in the legislature, with the presidency turning a blind eye, even when the established hall of our democracy go up in flames. Security forces brutalizing peaceful citizens, while millions are being spent on so-called operations that offer no protection to ordinary Liberians. They said we were the problem, but now the Liberian people can see for themselves. The real problem is the unity party that is now in power. The time has come to speak the truth without fear. This government is failing and Liberia is paying the price. For seditions, let us not lose hope. Even the longest night must give way to daylight. Even the strongest storm must pass. We are still standing and we are still strong. We will not give up on Liberia. We will not give up on our people. And we will never give up on CDC. We are the party of the slums and the city. We are the voice of the voiceless. We are the protectors of the poor and the defender of their dreams. From New Cruton to Peaceville, from Buchanan to Bond Mines, from Sunny Quarter to Southtown, the CDC remains in the hearts of the people. This rally is a clear sign. We are reorganizing, we are preparing, we are coming back. I say to you, we are coming back. But in order to do that, we must build a strong, together we must fortify the one institution that can correct the failure of the Bouaka administration. And that institution is the Mighty Coalition for Democratic Change. This is why I call on all of you today, not just to believe, but to act. Not just to hope, but to build. Let us invest in the movement that has invested in you. Let us pay our due so that the party remain financially and politically prepared. Your dues are more than money. They are a seed of commitment, a pledge of loyalty, and a symbol of hope. I'm so proud to launch this due payment campaign today because it means that you, the grassroots, you, the real owner of this party, are ready to step forward, take charge, and prepare for the future. As your political leader, I promise you this: we will not rest, we will not retreat, we will organize, mobilize, and energize until we reclaim the leadership of Liberia. But let us do it the CDC way, peacefully, lawfully, strategically, and respectfully. Because when our time comes, and it will come, believe me, we must be ready not just to win, but to govern better. We must correct the wrongs, improve the system, and restore the dignity of the Liberian people. So let us unite, let us rise, let us believe, and let us build. And to all our young people, I say, stay focused, stay clean, stay strong. To our women, you are the backbone of this movement. Keep rising. To our elders, your wisdom is still needed. Stay with us. And to our opponent, we see the failure and we are coming to face it. Again, great Nelson Mandela stand in the quote, it always seems impossible until it is done. Unquote. The party is alive, strong and mighty. The revolution shall continue. They believe we will uphold to death. The future is not beyond us. The future is still ahead. And together we will get there. And so I want to close with this advice. Wait well. Liberia and Liberians will call on you again. And therefore, be prepared to win again and lead again. Remember, we are the common people. So let us all unite for the betterment of our country. And our people.
The Bouaka, we used to go to him, even fee Bouaka because of his title. Make him comfortable because of a title. But you see what he's doing? You get a lot of gangsters around here and thinking that Liberia is afraid of gangsters. It's a lie.
But you should be concerned as well. Why it is true that you're in opposition, you should be concerned. You also have a responsibility to maintain the peace of the country. Though the burden has shifted on the government to maintain the peace.
AB, I've always kept the peace of the Republic of Liberia.
Okay.
During Ellen time, I've kept the peace. During President Dota, I kept the peace. Amos Soyota, I kept the peace. Charles Taylor, I kept the peace. I've never broken anything in this country. I work for peace in our country and I'm on record. Even the United Nations know that I work for peace. So I'm not trying to break the peace. What I'm telling you that those people that say they came to rescue us, they are breaking the laws of the Republic and it is wrong. If you can't see it, it is wrong. It is wrong. Because if the government that answered, any position was respected. Today, you can say that you're taking the person off because he associated with somebody. No, but you see, we are different. The respect I have for Ellen Johnson, I kept that respect. And the respect I kept for her,
So, okay, folks, what a wonderful way to say good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Welcome to the program, Face the Issues. And of course, we are grateful as always to join you again today on the 17th day of July 2026 to talk more about our country, Liberia. It's great joining you this evening. Like my team from the diaspora will be joining me very soon. Prince Sharif is already at backstage. Leo will join. Followed by Leo, we'll have Willem Bro from France. And you listened to Bro last night. Bro was on the show last night. Yes, the first day edition of the program Face the Issues last night, where we had Willem Bro, the head of the CDC in Europe. We also had on the show last night Anthony Asik Jackson. So it was quite, and fantastic. Yes, quite fantastic last night on the show. So we're grateful again to join you this evening. My name is Newton Tokpa. To talk more about our country. Too many things happening in the country. Like we always say, the diaspora edition of the program Face the Issues is about happenings, those happenings that transpire, those things that transpire during the course of the week. So we're grateful again to join you this evening. How you doing? I guess you guys are doing so great. Too many things happening in the country, folks. But like we always say, in spite of the different things that are happening in the country, we never give up on our country, because this is our country. This is the only country we have. If you travel from Liberia, anywhere you go, when they ask you, which country are you from? What's your nationality? What will you say? When they ask you for your nationality, nothing else. You wouldn't say, I'm a Ghanaian, I'm a Nigerian. Definitely, you will say, I'm a Liberian. So to face this country, we got to face this country together. We got to do it collectively. That's why all of us are saying. And today, when you saw tens of thousands of people taking the streets to protest for the forward march and the betterment of this country, these are sacrifices we continue to make on a daily basis. Things may not be rosy. Yes. There are challenges. There are tough times. But despite those tough times, those challenges, we are still there trying to brave the storm to fight for our country. We definitely understand that, life will not always be, easy as you expect it to be. Life is about pros and cons. And the pros and cons of life is about the good sides and the bad side. Good times will come and the bad times will come. That's why we'll never give up on our country. We'll continue to fight for our country. This is the only country we have. What can we do? If we give up with the fact that we have the responsibility to our country as Liberians, if we give up on our country, who definitely going to do it for us? Absolutely nobody else will do it for us. We got to do it for ourselves. The Mandela that fought for that country, Muhammad Gandhi, he stood up against the tyranny. Mandela, imagine Mandela doing the apartheid policy, a policy of segregation in South Africa. And then Mandela said, no, this is our country. We are the indigenous citizens of the country. We'll not sit here and the white dominate us. The apartheid was about segregation. It was a policy of segregation. Well, in South Africa, but then you had the white and the non-white. So if you're white, you have all of the opportunities. In fact, there was special, public transportation, special school, only for white people. While the black people, there were special areas. So there were some, in fact, restaurants, some places they were not allowed to go because they were black. That's racism. And Mandela said, no, we got to stand against this. Mandela went through a lot. Imagine 27 years, Nelson Mandela. Who does that? Leaving your family 27 years to sacrifice for your country? It goes the extra mile. 27 years. Imagine when they went at the prison to free Mandela with all the political prisoners. What did Mandela say? Mandela said, no, you can't free me. And these people remain here. So you got to free. If you want me to be free, if you want me to leave this prison, you got to free all of them. Who does that? 27 years. Leave your family to sacrifice for your country. We can do more than that. We can do it. And that's why when Mandela went at the Soweto Stadium
You heard South Africans, but then South African tens of thousands has converged at the Soweto Stadium. They begin to chant slogans. Amanda Awetu. In the Swahili language, that is the hero. The man who fought for our freedom has arrived. Amanda Awetu. In South Africa. We can do it. So it's not a surprise today we saw Liberians in their numbers because they want to fight for their country. We got to keep fighting for our country. We got to keep fighting. Nobody will do it for us. That's why, like the former US president said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Definitely your country will not do nothing for you. You got to fight to develop your country. So let's go to backstage and add our, I think our Prince is right here. Let me add Prince. Prince, good evening. Welcome. It's good to have you on tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much, my brother Newton. Thank you so much. It's a wonderful day today, and we are excited that we are here to also share in a historic moment that we have observed in our nation. So thank you so much. It's a privilege, and we're going to be having a very wonderful time here. Again, to our many listeners from around the globe, we want to say thank you so much, our family, for the support that you have rendered to us and for everything that you continue to do for this platform. Because without you, I don't think the kind of impression that we have made on our people and how we have changed the political dynamics and somebody will say the trajectory of our nation, I don't think in your absence we're going to accomplish that. But we want to say thanks to all of you. And as usual, we ask that you hit for us the share button, share with family, share with friends. And we're going to serve you a very good dose of the diaspora talk on Face the Issue. Thank you so much. And it's always a privilege. Thank you.
Thank you, Prince. Thank you. And we'll cross over quickly to the Frenchman. Like I call him the Frenchman because he's in France.
I tell you, man. I tell you. Prince, what's up, my man?
Yeah, Chief, we are here. We are doing great, well, and fine, gearing
that's
up
good,
for
that's good.
the most memorable and wonderful event to ever hit the United States of America.
Thank you.
While we are celebrating the 250th, anniversary of the U.S. It has been encompassed with something very great from Liberia and the rest of the world. That is the CDC National Convention, CDC USA National Convention. So it's wonderful. Yeah, it's wonderful. You are doing great.
And Newton, man, how is it from your end, my brother?
You managing, man. Bro,
man, you wear your goggles today. John, we are saying that goggles the man can wear because you can be sleeping behind the goggles. And Ravi can speak.
There.
Ravi can speak. Ravi speak. The man wearing goggles. Wearing goggles. But like when people couldn't understand, most of them cannot understand we are. And let me tell you, the Liberian people, I want to say thanks for you guys continuing the show. I've been absent of reason, not that it was intentional. It's because of my engagement with the Liberian community in France and that of Europe. I have a very huge responsibility right now with Liberians in Europe and Liberians in France, including non-political and political. Even the group with Europe, the CDC grouping, we try to help make the various chapters grow because we want to have as many as possible going down in 2029 to register to vote. That's my objective. The second objective is based on our governance in Europe and in the community of the Liberian community in France, the way we will govern, how some of their mindset in Europe will change, that citizens are better governors. So everything we're doing it for the party, but people will not know. And we are governing well, and the feedback is genuine. People praising you and say, what? Well, you get brilliant people in the party because the way you govern, my brother, is exceptional. So you see that. So some of them who had a negative mindset gradually changing. So that's our target. So that's one of the objectives. Even next week, Saturday, I may not be on the show again because there will be an air flight. The entire Europe, all the Liberian Europe will be celebrating the Independence Day on Saturday in Belgium. And I will be in our program as one of the officials, and I will be making some statement there. Yes. So I want to apologize It was not intentional. Everything was geared towards the objective of the return of President Weah. So we're navigating our way both in the community and the political grouping. So I want to say we are back and we are here to discuss the issues tonight.
Welcome back anyway. After a brief stay away.
And the stay away was very productive for our benefit.
Oh yes. All right, folks. So let's see what we can go to the roster, the call. Let's see who we can call a few of our people who have joined us here this evening to talk more about our country, Liberia. We have the first person who joined. The first person here is Joe Pukuyu, and followed by Joe, we have Josephat Wilson. Yes, a Wally Swen. Yeah, Josephat Wally Swen, Man Watability, Ashley P. Gile, and we have Ruth Budu Bine. We have Stanley Bozu, and we have Rita Hart, and we have Charles. We have Charles. Yeah, it's Charles Dolo. I know about it. Well, so it's Charles Dolo Pepu, huh? Dolo Papu, B-A-R-P-U. Bro, you bad on man. Wow.
Yeah, I'm not Bassop, man. Total. Yeah, you are right too. Because my mother is a Bassop crew, but I'm crew, man. Yeah, go ahead. What the name? Spell it. Maybe I will call the name.
Yeah, so I'm just kidding anyway. It's Charles M. Dolopapu. Yeah, that's the pronunciation.
Bapu. It's Bapu.
Yeah. B-A-R-P-U. Bapu. Yes.
Oh, Bapu. Okay.
Like do
you know the meaning?
No, I don't know.
Ask the man in the comment section to place the meaning of his name, because many of our people get those names, but they don't know the meaning.
Yeah, so it makes me think about last name. I said Justin say I know Billy Gongo in Basel, somebody who is that drink that when they put yeast in the I know yeast. So when he put yeast in the barley, I know he said I know Billy Gongo. So yeah, talking about Basel, I said
Labrabi, we appear on the show. We into our my man. I got
yeah, so we have Harris Helly. Yeah, Harris Helly, Tamba. We have Ashley B. Gillette, Venetius Junior Bar, Paris Slobert. Mr. Slobert is always here with us. We have Melu F. Fufana. We have Amos Ed Nyali. We have Maurice Sori. Maurice Sori, followed by Maurice Sori. We have Joseph Faya. We have, Maurice Sori appears here once again. We have Kadiatu Bebeke Kamara. Kadiatu Bebeke Kamara. We have Kelvin Soko from the US of A. Adolphus Mo. Emmanuel Kise. Emmanuel T. Kise. Yes, after Emmanuel, we have Joyce Paul, Honorable Papi Sources Keita. We have James Y. Kennedy Jr., Incha Brown, Maurice Ducle, Yeket Va, Lovetta Bombo. Lovetta Bombo, followed by Lovetta Bombo. We have Chris Duno. Followed by Chris, we have Emidia S. Dinani. Followed by Emidia, we have Ben Cooper Jr. We have Osiat Ba, Patrick Hello. We have Emmanuel Venier. Yes, Venier. Emmanuel J. Venier. Followed by Emmanuel, we have Asada M. Miller, Cowboy Widow, Patrick Nangbe, Emmanuel Gowe, Boyman Obendo Kiadi. We have Sulonti Ma. Sulonti Ma. We have followed by Sulonti Ma. We have Solomon Williams. Then we have Jolly Jolly. We have Japa Jayani. Japa Jayani. Yes, that's the reference pronounced as Jayani. Followed by Japa, we have Felicia Chie, Melvin Mustafa, Saturday Zongwie Wudule. Saturday Zongwie Wudule. We have Woki Davis, the honor the Palava, Prince of the year. We have Daddy Kofa. We have Alvin Mane. Yes, Joseph Kekula, Asari Kanen, Mirek Tule, Marcos Sapi. We have Hip Dawson, Ojuku Davis, Fred Nimler Dix, M. Sources, M. Sources Subi, James Conan, And the list goes on. Folks, no time. We got to go to our talking points. No time. So thanks. Yes, we want to say we're grateful for all of you. For those of you who we may not call in or we didn't call your name, we appreciate all of you. Yes, and we'll continue to appreciate all of you. So, like we always say, we are in this together. We are fighting for our country, and we are fighting together. And let us continue to fight together for the betterment of our country. Folks, having said that, let's move on right now. As you may be aware, too many things happening in the country. The issue about protests today, the July 17th protest. You've been following the activities and all of that. We'll speak briefly with Stephen Compton of our staff. Stephen Compton was in the field today doing a coverage. We'll speak with him briefly to give us an update to just give us a summary of the entire coverage today. Though we've been following up on the different activities that took place today, we heard about the seizure of a weapon, and that's what we said yesterday. I think I was telling bro last night when we were on the show last night. I told him, I said the protesters, they need to be very careful, and the reason why I was saying that is because we have witnessed several protests. Because once the government is not in favor of that protest, what's going to happen is that there will plenty people among the protesters. They will plant people. They will plant thoughts among the protesters. They will make people to infiltrate the protester, so that if anything happens wrong, they will say the protesters. And just what we're saying today, that yes, the government might plant thoughts. You know what thought is? People from criminal gang. TSUGS, thoughts. Yes. People from criminal organization. They play there in the midst of the protester. They will behave as though they are one of those protesters when they are not. So whatever happens, because they want to do something that will tarnish, the reputation of the leaders of the protest, the Mobile Molu and his team. But they are screaming well. Yesterday, we heard the police talking about petrol bombs, that they arrested people with petrol bombs. But why didn't the police come out to inform the public that, yes, these are people who were arrested with the petrol bombs? Like, just now, they just had a press conference about the protest. But we let you know, Jamaline PR talking about, the police, has arrested people with petrol bomb. In fact, they want to destabilize the peace of the country. What kind of peace are you talking about, Mr. Minister? That people want to destabilize. Whenever people talk about protesting, that's when either they want to destabilize the peace or they want to vandalize, because he also spoke about vandalism. You remember the last protest that Mobile Moliden had? He said Mobile Moliden vandalized things, vehicle, different stuff. Then those were the accusations against Molu. That during the protest, they vandalized the sports America, they did XYZ. And today, here we are. The protest is not anything wrong. It's not wrong for the citizens. Because if the citizens are dissatisfied, the only means they have to send a message to the government is through protestation. That's the means to assemble peacefully. And the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia gives them that right. They have the right, peaceful assembly, to express themselves through that means to the government. That yes, President Bouaka, why is it true that you are the president of the country? This country does not belong to you alone. President Bouaka, we are seeing under your leadership, Liberia has become a transit point for narcotic substances. Cocaine. 19.2 million worth of cocaine. Liberia is not a transit point. So the people had all necessary right. Every right the people had it to have taken the streets to protest. They were wrong. They have right because anything. Liberia is now a transit point for drug. The first time in the history of our country. People going to the police officer going to the Liberian Senate, disrespecting senators. Police officer going to the Capitol building, House of Representatives, and they're in the offices of lawmakers, extorting them, brutalizing them. We saw it doing the impasse. So you think the people don't have right to stand up? They have every right to stand up to this thing because when people, the government, start to break the rule of law, even we are going nowhere. Rule of law is very key. Amongst the tenets of democracy, good governance, rule of law, they are key. Because if the rule of law in the country is not protected, it means that nothing good happens in the country. Everybody that do things at their will. Whatever they want to do, they'll do it. So we'll speak briefly with Compton. Yes, let me see what I can have Compton. Compton was in the field today so that he can bring us up to speed as to how was the coverage like, how was the protest from his own observation, because he was there. He saw most of the things that took place today. So he will bring us up to speed. Let's see what we can speak with him. I'm trying to get to Compton. Yeah. Steven?
Yeah, Nixon, how are you?
Yeah, it's good to have you on my own. We are okay, Steven. It's good to have you on this event.
Yeah, I appreciate the time. Thanks for reaching out.
That guy can speak series
as well.
Yeah, you're most welcome, my brother. You're most welcome. I know today has been a very hectic day for you. Imagine since the morning, the hour you woke up to get, in the streets from one point to another, following the protester, I know it's been such a hectic day for you. So how is it? How was it today?
Yeah, certainly you are right, Newton. You are right with the narratives, and it has been a very hectic day. I just got somewhere around my junction to make my way home. So, today protest, a lot of people have said, is a message to the Liberian people. Like other critics have said, they stand. A couple of other Liberians have staged 2 other protests besides today's protest. And the government has failed to come out. But like many people have said, and there's just a message to the international community, which the government depends on for, aid and other things. So if you have a citizen coming up, going at the extent or probably verging to naked themselves, or even nakeding themselves, to call on the president's attention, the government's attention, is something that speaks volume. But today protest, like many may say, is a message, and it has gone across.
So tell us, and we've been hearing about the seizure of a gun, pistol, and how is it? Can you tell us more about this information, the seizure of the gun?
I want to quote Sen's chairman directly. Right now, as we speak, when you check the King's Clark TV page, you will see the video there, wherein the Sen's chairman were able to make this a statement alleging that they captured a weapon from one of the government's operators who, according to him, were instructed by the police IG to have included among the peaceful protesters with a gun. And, after one thing of the other, they were able to arrest the gun from him, which was shown. The pictorials are all on our page. I will urge you to post it so that our people who are following their
definitely
social media platform can be able to see the pictorial.
In terms of, were there some of the protesters arrested today by the police?
Well, not to my knowledge. The only thing that I captured today, one of the protesters was badly wounded. He forgot wounded to the extent of being broken.
Wow, broken.
So yeah.
By whom? You got wounded by whom? By whom?
A passenger car was passing. So, you know, the protesters have this, what we call a security guard. They were, protesting, somehow protesting and also guarding the protester to ensure that they don't go across to the passenger side, wherein at that point in time, we never had security personnel around. So they were ensuring that, you know, they never infringe on the rights of peaceful citizens who are moving on the other side of the road.
Oh, yeah.
So unfortunately, one of the passengers was able to run into him and wounded his leg.
Wow.
So his leg was so bloody, and, you know, they tried to take him to the JFK Medical Center, but he refused to go there. According to him, the JFK Medical Center has turned into something different, and being somebody who is somehow calling the government to order, if he goes there, probably one way or the other, they may amputate his leg. So he refused to go there. So some of the protesters were able to back him, and they carried to elsewhere, where we were later told that they carried to a private health center to have him treated.
Wow. Wow. So tell us, from the angle of the government, was there a petition presented from the protesters today? If there was a petition presented from the protester, who received the petition on behalf of the government?
Thank you so much, Newton Toba. I know there are a lot of Liberians out there who want to, get an update on the petition, probably have been presented or not so, and a lot of people, there are a lot of controversies as to whether the protester presented a petition or not. But let me say this, right? We came from the end of the Bamuma. We walked through the Senate bill up to the executive mansion, right at the intersection of the Ministry of Local Government and that of the University of Liberia and the executive, the legislature. So now, previously to the protesters arriving at that point, they have made their claim that they want to present their petition at the grounds of the executive mansion.
Okay.
But what we learned from the protesters, even before the protesters arriving at that executive mansion, and I will call the protesters, since I'm on radio, and a lot of people are listening, and a lot of people are watching. According to the protesters and the chairman of Senate, according to him, the president escaped the executive mansion even before the arrival, and he went straight bombing. According to him, there's a second or third time of this happening. Whenever the citizen raised concern to ensure that they want to speak to the president who they stood under the sun to have elected, to read to him things they feel that are not going well in the country, that are not going well with citizens. The president will always escape. That's the word they use, Newton Toba. So they say the president escaped from the country, from the capital city.
So can we
to a place that he knew that he would relax himself.
So can we?
With the question he asked, there was no petition read, but there was a statement given by the Senate chairman and other civil society organizations, including students' organization at the state-run university.
So as a journalist who have been investigating, asking people as to what on many occasions, whenever the protesters go at the executive mansion or whenever the president hears about protests, he always leave the capital to go to Bombay County, most especially when it comes to the civil society stand protest. What have you been hearing from street corners as to what may have led to the president's action?
Yeah, so many of the things that we gathered from the protesters and other people who were, like people may consider as, spectators, that the president previously made a statement that are living with them. And so when we got at the area, many of the citizens were able to tell us that, what do you expect? The president doesn't reason time, appoint a rabbi from
Turkey, yeah.
They want to tell us that
He leave it with them. So he lead a protest with them, he lead a petition with them too.
Thank you. So the petition us. We never would elaborate people. But Newton, they may seem somehow laughable, but there were other people who were so critical to say if the president will leave our petition with us, then it is hard time. If the president will leave the petition with us, then that means you leave us with the drug issue, you leave us with the demolition exercise, you leave with us with the high rate of rape issue that's going on, among other national issues, the Ebola issue. The 10 billion mansion that's being built in Georgia. So when the president says he's leaving with us, then we are calling on the president to leave the presidency with the elaborate people to go and sit down in forming country, whatever area he seems so pleasant to be.
You're right. So at the final analysis of today's protest, were there any announcement about future protests?
Madu, as the chairperson of the of STEM and the civil society grouping, like I said, student leaders, they make it clear to the liberate people. Like SUP at the University of Liberia, they said they are coming up with another protest on July 26th. And said there will be a continuous protest. Although the president was unable to receive the petition, but yet they are going to re-emerge to ensure that they inform the international community that despite what is happening to citizens in Liberia, our government, according the protester and the chairman of STEM, that despite the president on 3 different occasions, has vowed not to receive our petition, we'll continue to protest until the government, is put out of power. That was why the chairman Mobile Modu said, and the Student Unification Party at the University of Liberia also vowed to continue the protest. PROSA and other student groupings at the University of Liberia, they also made a statement at the project ground today, Newton.
Right. So, Stephen Kondo, thanks for bringing us up to speed. We appreciate you for this update on the show tonight. Thank you so much, Stephen, for the update.
Newton, thank you so much. I want to say thanks to you and also our listening audience and also our team there on the platform tonight. I want to say thanks and thanks for the great job you are doing for the Liberian people. Thank you so much and have a blessed time.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you. So, Stephen Kondo of our staff, he was in the field today, covering the protest today. So we thought to asking some of the questions as to what are some of those things that may have transpired today in relation to the protest. I think you listened to him. I think he said one of the protesters' leg got broken. And they thought to take him to the John F. Kennedy Medical Center, but he resisted on grounds that if he may have been taken there, his leg may have been amputated. He didn't want so because he sees the JFK as a death trap. He sees it. That's why, and this is the same thing we've been talking about. So most people are afraid now to go to JFK. You listen to him. Yes, one of the protester one of his legs got broken today. And he said, I wanted to take him to JFK. He said, no, because when you carry me there, they will cut my legs. They will amputate my leg. So you haven't carried me there. So they end up carrying him to maybe private health facility and all of that. This is the kind of country we find ourselves. This is Liberia. But we're about to cross over the Prince and the rest of the team. But let's listen to the statement. I think about 4 minutes statement from the LMP. They just released this in relation to today's protest. So let me bring you this statement from the LMP. Let me bring you this. Yeah, let me bring you this from the LMP. Let's see. So I don't know whether you can get it. I wonder, are you getting the audio? Are you getting the audio? Or what?
No, for me, I'm not getting it.
And the audio is on. I don't know why you're not getting there. So let me see something.
Ask Prince if he's getting it.
The audio is not coming. So okay, let me make the necessary adjustment. Let me see what we can. Let me see what I can have this on. I don't know why it's not sending the audio. Okay,
For the individual that is under the
I think we'll get the audio. Yeah, I think we'll get the here.
Peaceful protest, but to ensure that every Liberian can exercise peacefully protest the rule of law. Fellow Liberians, good evening. I address you today as the Inspector General of the Liberia National Police to reaffirm our unwavering commitment to the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, the rule of law, and the democratic values that define our nation. The Liberia National Police recognizes and respects the right of every citizen to peacefully assemble, peacefully protest, express their views, and petition the government for redress of grievances. These rights, guaranteed under Article 17 of our Constitution, are fundamental to our democracy, and these are rights that the Liberia National Police are duty-bound to protect. As your National Police Service, our responsibility is not to suppress peaceful protests, but to ensure that every Liberian can exercise these constitutional freedoms safely, peacefully, and without any form of intimidation or interferences. As we prepare for the planned demonstration on Friday, July 17, the Liberia National Police has completed an extensive operational planning and intelligence assessment. Our assessment indicates that while an overwhelming majority of these organizers and participants intend to demonstrate peacefully, there are credible indications that a small number of individuals may attempt to exploit the gathering to commit acts of violence, destroy property, attack security personnel, or otherwise undermine the legitimate and constitutional exercise of these rights. I wish to assure the Liberian people that the National Police has taken appropriate preventive measures to protect both the demonstrators and the general public. As part of the ongoing intelligence-led policing operations, our investigators have received credible intelligence regarding manufacturing and planned distribution of Molotov cocktails intended for unlawful use during the demonstration. Acting swiftly, the police investigators intercepted a quantity of these improvised incendiary devices even before they could be distributed. Investigation remains active, and every person connected to the criminal activity will be prosecuted in accordance with the laws of the Republic of Liberia. Additionally, the Liberia National Police has identified Mr. Collie Bobo as a principal suspect in an ongoing investigation concerning the alleged distribution of illegal firearms intended to facilitate criminal activities during the protest. This remains an active criminal investigation. I wish to emphasize that all investigative actions are being conducted within the framework of the law, and every individual connected to this matter will be afforded constitutional protections, including due process and presumption of innocence until proven guilty by a court of competent jurisdiction. I'll be clear with everybody. There's a clear distinction between peaceful protest and criminal conduct. The Constitution, it protects peaceful assembly clearly. It does not protect violence, rioting, arson, vandalism, looting, assault on law enforcement officers, obstruction of emergency services, or possession and manufacture and distribution of illegal firearms, Molotov cocktails, and other explosive or incendiary devices. Anyone who engages in criminal act under the guise of protest will be investigated and held accountable under the laws of the Republic of Liberia. I wish to encourage all protest organizers and participants alike to continue working closely with the police and adhere to the approved protest routes and designated assembly areas, respecting the rights of motorists, businesses, residents, and fellow citizens, and ensuring that every emergency.
Okay, so let's hold Greg. Let's hold Greg right there. You listen to him talking about violence and vandalism. Protesters, some protesters, he said, small number of the protesters was involved in violence, vandalism. I think you saw the display of some of the bombs allegedly the police have linked to the protesters. Initially, you listened to the information minister after the LMP came out with information that they arrested. That was before the protest. That was yesterday, right? Yes, that they arrested some people who are allegedly linked. Some people who are allegedly linked to the protest. But the police was not definite to say those people are the protesters. That's why they said allegedly. They used the word allegedly. So those people, according to the police that they arrested with petrol bombs, they allege that they are connected. So that's why now the police need to do their investigation. Yes. To clarify, because they say allegedly. So allegedly could be whether they link to the protester or they are not. Whether they are linked or they are not linked to the protester. So that's why they have to do the due diligence. Do the due diligence by carrying on the investigation. They come out with another press conference. But let's hold it there and cross over to Prince. I think Prince is well seated now to add up to this. So Prince, coming.
I am really shocked and surprised that Boeka will still be keeping this particular drug dealer by the name of Gele Como at the Liberia National Police. But again, sometimes when you look at it, it is not a shocking situation because Boeka himself has proven time without number that he is lawless. He has no respect for the Liberian people and will continue to do everything to ensure that he enrich himself and trample on the people's right. Today's protest is a remarkable, and the reason for which it is remarkable is because we see from the very onset when it was pronounced that Liberians were going to come out to petition the government. We saw this fear tactics, the intimidation. We saw what happened to people who are the organizers of this particular protest today, like for example, Fode Massacre, who the government was able to use Sekou Dukle, another serious drug facilitator at the Liberia National Port Authority, to put a false crime or to intimidate Fode Massacre, thinking that that particular action was going to deter Liberians from coming up. So today we should celebrate that despite of the intimidation, despite of all of the fear tactics that the government was able to employ, the Liberians said enough is enough, and there is absolutely nothing that the government can do to intimidate us from coming out. This is a clear example that Boeka should understand that 2029, the Liberians will defend their democracy and defend their vote with their lives. If with all of the intimidation that we saw before today, the Liberians can still come up, my brother, we must say kudos to the Liberian people, and it's a signal that this government has failed the Liberian people, that the people have no trust and confidence in their government. Today we saw what happened at the protest ground, where a new unity partisan got in a four-wheel motor car and decided to drive directly through the protester. A unity partisan. I expected the Liberia National Police to brief the public about this particular lady who is a new unity partisan who drove through the protester, thereby, harming some of them, even breaking the legs of a protester who was never causing problem. I expected the Liberia National Police to brief the public relative to that particular incident. But we have one incompetent drug dealer who is involved in all of the nefarious and diabolic deeds in Liberia, sitting down, calling himself a police director. In a serious country, a man like Gregory Como should be handcuffed and placed in solitary confinement in a serious country. It is a disgrace. And the international community has already been informed. Our partners in the United States of America and other parts of the world, they have already been informed about what happened today. For you to see government operatives taking arm and ammunition among protesters, that particular thing that you saw, my brother, it is engineered by Gregory Como and every other person that is associated with the government. That particular thing you saw, that how you call makeshift a bomb that they were facing, we know who Gregory Como is. Gregory Como is a notorious figure who was part of the son of the devil. You all know during those days, the SOD, we used to call them son of the devil. So we know the plans of Gregory Como. We know who he is. We know what he is capable of doing, and we know what he is not capable of doing. What he is capable of doing is trying to infuse fear, is planning violence and planning arms among protesters. What he is not capable of doing is to put fear in the Liberian people to think that the people will remain silent and they will not speak against ills in society. I want to pause here because time is of essence and pass it over to my brother, bro.
Yeah. Newt, thank you so much, my brother Prince. Newton, can I come in now?
Yeah. Coming.
Yeah, thank
bro.
you. Thank you, Prince. Though you have said it all. Right now, we're reading little story about the protest because it's all online when you were speaking. But before I move further, let me say happy birthday to one of Liberia's greatest statesmen, Dr. Tokba Nantipote. He celebrates his birthday today, the 85th birth anniversary. We want to say we salute you, a great man, Dr. Tokba Nantipote. And also our deepest sorry to the guy who got hurt today during the protest. We want to say sorry, and we are with you, and we'll be with you because you stood for a cause. So we'll always be with you. Want to also give our revolutionary salute to all those men and women, boys and girls that stood up today, at least to prove themselves that the Bouakale administration is in error and they must do the needful for the betterment of our country. And those of us that are following via radio and the Facebook, we say greetings to all of you. Now, you see Newton and my brother Prince. You see, many people, they don't understand how politics involved. The politics you saw 2005 was never what you saw 2011. It was not what you saw 2017. It was never the same as 2023. And 2029 will be different. You see, I can always laugh when I hear Unity Party officials and Unity Party supporters saying, the protest, because they see maybe they think that it should be like June 7 or any other protest when CDC was in opposition in 2006, 7, then all the way to 2011. Let me tell you about political involvement. As your democracy grows, pattern changes, and voters' mindset of approaching political situation change. It cannot be stay static. You see, one of the largest protests that happened under the CDC administration was the June 7 protest. Immediately after the June 7 protest, many Liberians refused to come out again for protests. Thus bringing many other failed protests. Like take for example, the We Are Tired Sovereign protest was very poorly attended. Anyone who never had a mindset will think that the Liberian people were already enjoying and they were satisfied with the CDC-led government. But that was delusional. Today, it resulted to all living from power. Now, the CDC you saw in 2006, 7, 8, all the way to 2011 to 2017 can never be the same CDC today, because CDC when CDC was in opposition at that time, they never tested governance. And so they never knew what governance entails. So their opposition activity at the time was extreme because they thought all was bread and butter. It's like when you have not had a child, when a parent speaking about the responsibility of a child, you will think that feeding children that easy thing for the house or sending them to school. Today, CDC have experienced that, and today CDC is in opposition after governance. People think that CDC is a weak opposition. That's lie. They've been responsible and gotten involved based on experience. It is not like the UP, that the UP is a radical political movement in Liberia with an extremist idea or ideology. They are dangerous to our democracy. They are not, in fact, when UP were going to be existing, that's why when people say they are the reincarnation of the two we parted are true. If these people were existing in the 60s, the 70s, their governance were going to be dictatorial. Today, I watch most of the live feed. I saw Liberians on the live feed waiting for the police to waste hot water on their fellow Liberians, waiting for the police to beat their fellow Liberians. All of those that were saying that were UPs are lies. I said, can you imagine you are preaching democracy and you are telling and you are preaching that your fellow Liberians who are expressing their democratic rights should be dealt with by the police brutally, and you think it's a sound thing? I think there's a problematic situation happening in our country with many people having mental problems, and we need to settle that. So today, the protest was very successful, and President Bouaga fled the capital. He went to Bomi County. He was seated in Bomi County. Total disrespect to the population. Older as he is, who want to kill Bouaga? In fact, no opposition want Bouaga self to be killed. Nobody. So Bouaga left with disrespect. Like somebody, one of the person who you just called, who was giving the report, who said because the president said leave it with it, that was a total cheek he gives to the Liberian people. Today we are here and we are observing these things. I want to urge all of our people, let's keep pushing and let the government keep failing. That's their business. They should think that everything is well. I told people, maybe I will say in my last word before closing, but let me stop this far to give for us to have some ample time to navigate through other things. But that's my point for now, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you, Prince. Thank you, Prince. At least we're making progress gradually. And I have another version. Prince, I have another version of the release from the LMP. I think this is another one. I think the one I played previously was the old one. That one, I think, was the one issued before the protest. I think let's listen to this one. Let's have a listen, then we'll come back and we can see what we can do here.
I would like to use this time to thank all of those who, one way or the other, was inconvenienced as a result of a tiny fraction of Liberians exercising their constitutional rights, which of course the police provided the needed protection on the Capitol Hill today.
Excuse me, Newton, please go back. Did he say tiny fraction?
Tiny fraction, yeah, that was the point. That's what I thought.
Respect for this guy.
Yeah, tiny fraction of Liberia.
Are you kidding
me? Similarly, I would like to.
Are you kidding me?
One way or the other was inconvenienced as a result of a tiny fraction of Liberians.
He explained it with his gesture.
Bro, but see, Gregory, you can see Gregory demonstrate this tiny. So when you do your finger like this, it means small, so tiny.
Do you know that? Do you know any civil law society that man should be fired? LeBron and LeBron statement ready.
which of
This
course
man,
the
there
police
should be
provided the
for that
needed
statement, there
protection.
should be a massive
Result
protest
of
to
a
tell him to
tiny
resign.
fraction of Liberians
It was
exercising
reckless and rude.
as a result of a tiny fraction of Liberians
Are you kidding
as a
me?
result of a tiny fraction of Liberians exercising the Constitution. As a result of a tiny fraction of Liberians exercising their constitutional rights,
Damn,
which of
LeBron is
course
done.
the police provided the needed protection on the Capitol Hill today. Similarly, I would like to also announce that Liberia National Police has launched a criminal investigation following the assault on an officer and theft of his government-issued service arm while he was traveling to his assigned duty station during the morning hours of the protest. The preliminary findings indicate that the officer was confronted by a group of individuals who physically assaulted him and unlawfully deprived him of his service weapon before the perpetrators fled the scene. The investigation into this assault and the identities of all the persons involved remains an ongoing investigation. The Liberia National Police has confirmed that the firearm which was publicly displayed today is the same government-issued service weapon that was taken from the officer who was assaulted earlier today. Investigators have further established that the firearm is currently in the possession of Mr. Moba Molu, chairman of STAN. I will use this medium to advise Molu to immediately turn that weapon over or face serious criminal charges. The LNP is taking all necessary investigative and legal measures to recover that firearm. But we know where it is, we know who has it, and this is a direct warning that it must be turned over immediately. The assault on a law enforcement officer and illegal possession of his service weapon, it constitutes a serious criminal offense that threatens public safety. The Liberia National Police calls on you, Moba Molu, to immediately surrender it. I mean, this is not a threat, this is a direct warning, lawful warning as well, lawful order. And that you also have to come in to cooperate with the investigation because this weapon was taken from the officer as a result of an assault. And we are still trying to figure out the identities of all those. So for the mere fact that our weapon was found with you, you have to answer to all of the questions surrounding how that weapon was taken. We appeal to members of the public that have credible information regarding this. Maybe somebody may have taken videos or other stuff to please share it with us to help facilitate this investigation. The police, we take note that this is not the first time. This is becoming a pattern because during the last protest in December 17, there was an officer, Sergeant Amara Bility, who was on his way to work. He was similarly assaulted and deprived of his service weapon again. So this is the second time around. We view this attack on officers as very unlawful. The seizure of firearms are grave threats to public safety, and we'll investigate every such incident to the fullest. We want to admonish the public that while the Constitution guarantees the right to peaceful assembly, violence against law enforcement officers, theft of government property, destruction of government property, and the lawful possession of police firearms are criminal acts that will be punished in accordance with the laws of the Republic of Liberia. The investigation remains ongoing and additional information will be released as we are able to gather them. Molu, Brinagon, it constitutes a criminal offense.
But man, take that man from there. A main point finish. Take that man from out of the screen.
Folks, let's imagine what has Liberia turned into under the Unity Party government. What has our country turned into under this government? You listen to Police IG describing those people who took to the streets today to protest for the forward march of our country. You listen to Gregory referring to them and demonstrating it, tiny fraction. You listen to a tiny fraction of Liberians. tiny fraction of Liberians. If, folks, the police IG, that is to tell you that perhaps it could be some of the reason. That could be some of the reason why Joseph Boakai, because if the police IG is referring to those people who took to the street today as just small, minute, just small, tiny fraction of the population. So it clearly tells you, or it clearly sends a message that perhaps it could be one of the reasons or some of the reasons why the president says, oh, and I just feel here for the people. Because normally, when people are gathering for protests, we followed the protest before this protest, right? And they said the ruling establishment, they will say that, and they say, oh, if I say, how many presidents have you seen on Molu? How many presidents? They not even read this number. They not read that number. It's not about the multitude of people. It's not about tens of thousands of people. In fact, the police IG of the country should not be talking about describing those people. With the fact that you are acknowledging that they have the constitutional right, and the constitution does not and how do you call it? What should I say? The constitution does not specify. Yeah, the constitution does not specify a number of persons to protest. The constitution, at the consent of the constitution, talks about peaceful assembly. Peaceful assembly. What a 10 or 15 persons can go and can send a message. They can protest and send a message. It's about passing on a message, group of people to assemble. The constitution says if one person must get 10 medals. The constitution was not specific to say whenever you want to protest, maybe the number it should be this number of persons. But this is the kind of country, and this is where we are today. And they are referring to people. So just tell you that they don't care. So whenever you go to the street, they say they don't care. They feel handful of people. So they don't care. What a the police has a responsibility. What a 10 person, what a 20 person, what a 100 person. The police has every right to protect them. They are protesters. What are even 50? If those people who talk to the street today were even 50 persons, the police are supposed to protect them. It's not about magnitude or multitude. It's not about multitude of people. Then you listen to who he's talking about, and the police, police officer was assaulted by the protesters. Where were the police officers? Because normally I've done the coverage for too many protests. Even the lead or lead protest. We did a coverage. My colleague Stephen Conter, who I just spoke with, we were there. We were at the Capitol. We went single. We worked with the protesters came out the Capitol building. Because normally you will see the police around the what's the place? Around the Capitol building there. To the intersection where they get the PBCC. Yes. Right to the intersection, where they get a little roundabout. Going to the executive mansion. Yes, right at the intersection, you see the police and they will gather. And you not see maybe one policeman just walking among protesters. You not see a group of protesters. You say, well, how did the police officer enter among the protesters? Because the police can be a group. You just see one police officer just walking or gone. And one police officer will not go in the midst of those protesters. How possible could that be? How possible could that be? Whenever there's protest, the police will always be in numbers. They will be in group. They will be in numbers. So how the police officer managed to have been assaulted, according to Gregory, to have been assaulted by the protesters, as Gregory is claiming? How possible? We knew this thing would have happened. And that's why we said the police, the government, were playing those people amongst the protesters. People infiltrate. Just to support, to damage the reputation of protesters. They were protesters like this. And I will listen to Molu before Prince and Brogan come on. Let me play Molu. Let me just listen to Molu in relation to the gun that was seized.
To cause trouble and cause pain. And we are going to show that this is a gun with Lola bullets that was confiscated from the individual and is ultimately a state operative that was deployed amongst us to cause trouble and cause death. And we are damn sure that these.
So you see, that's a gun. And after the protest, this is what Molly
said. Click and close. Now we like to express our profound gratitude to all the last 17 peaceful protesters. You have demonstrated that you are ready to dismantle workers' drug cartel brick by brick. You have demonstrated resilience. You have demonstrated commitment to a struggle that has been made a political imperative to ensure Liberia is rid of drugs and drugs trafficking, which cannot happen unless the key masterminds of drug trafficking at the top echelon of the governance sphere are brought to justice. We have every reason to believe the entire leadership of the national security structure of our country must not be a part of the investigative process, because these security institutions themselves are accused of colluding with drug traffickers. By extension, our demands are clear, as was propounded by the different speakers that mounted the podium today. We've come to reiterate that demand, that there is a need, and we insist on the existence of an independent body to investigate the $19 million drug consignment that, as far as government's reluctance is concerned, appears to account to our country spiritually. Because we don't understand what is government waiting for to name the source of the drug consignment, to name the sponsors of that consignment, to name the key masterminds and the architects of the $19 million drug consignment. And government's silence and their reluctance to commit to a transparent investigation only reinforces the huge suspicion that they are shielding or protecting key government officials. Amongst them are the following suspects. Gregory Coleman is suspected of colluding with the cartel. The National Security Advisor, Samuel Kofi Woods, is suspected of colluding with drug traffickers. The Vice President, whose relationship with perceived and alleged drug traffickers is suspected of colluding with drug traffickers. Mandela Copper, who works in the President's office, is also suspected of colluding with drug traffickers. In fact, we've learned that key government items change the insignia and change the label on the drug consignment when it enters Liberia's territorial perimeter.
And of course, so that's it, folks. But folks, and like we always say, we got to keep praying for our country, because we just don't understand. We just don't understand. You listen to Gregory talking about, just small fraction of the population. You listen to Gregory. Gregory continues to disrespect the Senate, disrespecting whoever. So where's Gregory? To disrespect everybody in the country? It's not a surprise. I knew Joseph Boakai wouldn't have, remained in the capital today, because I knew today were protests. Because this is not the first time. Whenever Stan is doing a protest, President Boakai will always leave the country. Sometimes he leave the country, he go out of the country. Sometimes he leave the capital, he go to bombing counties. So I knew exactly. And this is complete disrespect This is counterproductive to our democracy. When few people, when Liberians, they are Liberians, they have all legitimate right to stand up, to take to the streets. We saw in Indonesia, like what telling Indonesia, because these are things that can lead to riot. When the people are protesting and the government is not giving an audience, they do it the first time, they're not giving an audience. Government is ignoring them. They're trying to express themselves, and the government continues to ignore them. Then, at the end of the day, sometimes it results to riot. It happened in Nepal. It happened in Indonesia. And when it results to riot, what happens? People tend to burn down buildings. You saw Nepal? People burn down buildings, public buildings, and nothing could contain the crowd. Not even the army could contain the crowd. Not even army. Because the people were fed up. So peacefully, let's assume that peacefully, yeah, the people come and say, yeah, these are things that happen. We want for the government to address it. The government say, oh, these are people, nobody should go to them. Nobody should receive petition for them. When they say, I leave it with them, like the president would say, I leave it with them. This is completely outlandish, preposterous, ludicrous, nonsensical. It's wrong. We are equally Liberian. You are the president. That's why every election year, whoever wins takes the responsibility of the country. It's not about party. It's not about Unity Party and CDC. You are the president of Liberia. You're not president of Unity Party, Mr. President. You got to understand this. You have a responsibility to protect every Liberian. Not on the basis of party sentiment. No, absolutely not. You have a responsibility to protect this country, protect every citizen. The salary you earn today is not United Party that pay you as the president of the country. The budget you make today is not United Party. Every Liberian who pays taxes to the government, that's the money they are paying you as the president. The Lexus vehicle you ride today, President Bouaka, it is the Liberian people's money, not United Partisan. Whether from Communist Party, whether from CDC, whether from PLP, whatever party. All those people from the different political parties. They are paying taxes. They are Liberian. Do they have political parties? But they are Liberians equally. And they are paying taxes. And it is from those taxes they are paying you as the president. That's why every budget you have to get a fat budget. Where do you think the money is coming from? They say they don't have citizens who are paying taxes. Citizens are paying taxes. And their monies are being used to support your government. So you have a responsibility to protect them. So if people gather, if people take to the streets to express themselves, you have to respect them as a president. But each time, whenever the people, the citizens, try to express themselves, then you leave. That's be vindictive. That's a recalcitrant behavior. It's wrong. Completely, it's wrong. Recalcitrant behavior. You can't be the president. When somebody say, I think I told you, President Bouaka, Joseph Bouaka is unforgiving. I told you. Yeah. Maybe most of you are oblivious that Bouaka is unforgiving. And Bouaka is disrespectful. That's just the fact. We all due respect to the president. Perhaps some of you are oblivious, are unaware that Bouaka is disrespectful. And Bouaka has demonstrated that time consistently, time without number. The first protest, he decided not to receive, and Gregory Coleman prevented the protesters from entering the executive mansion, and they said that they talk nonsense. Gregory says there, he talks nonsense. And that's why Arthur Johnson says he's a blue gongo. He grows there, somebody say yeast. So he pump. There's only he feel like he throw extra. He pump. Gregory, your days are numbered. Let's Prince, it's up to you, man.
My brother, you know, one thing I understand over the period, especially reading the Bible, is that prayer worketh after destruction. for one to be totally destroyed, the first behavior that he will start to put up is proud. Once you see proud, you see loose talking, you see just people will just sit and just talk loosely, you must know that their end is nearing. Gregory Coleman does not read and don't understand how today the world is shaped just by individual. I'm not saying whole group, individual. Maybe Gregory Coleman has forgotten about the story of Rosa Parks here in the United States. Just one lady who said, no, I too have the right. I will not allow myself to be intimidated by anybody. I will sit down here in the bus. I will sit down. And because of her work, because she was intimidated, the thousands of others decided that we will boycott all public transportation. And we know what happened. The stories are there. Maybe Gregory Coleman is now reading because his brain has been enveloped by the drug cartel or the drug that he is benefiting from, especially riding a $90,000 car. So he's not reading. He's not understanding what is going on. We can go on to name individuals whose actions change the world. Gregory is also forgetting to know how the Unity Party today became a ruling party. You see, these are some of the people whose brains are not functional and they are placed in government. Waste product placed in government. Gregory, do you understand that even before you today you call yourself a government official, do you know that you won by what we refer to as the margin of error? That small group of people, a tiny group that you are disrespecting, it was those people who brought you to power. The less than 1%. Those were the people today who made you to become government officials. But again, it's not a strange thing, as you can hear from Gregory Coleman. This brother is very disrespectful. He does not respect human life, human dignity, and the rights of people to petition that government. They're human beings, he respect that thing. That thing they call human right. We know the boy history, the boy past history. We know. Look, these are some of the people that are supposed to be in rehab center. You know, they did the Ara thing where we escape. It caused serious problem for us. And we are overlooking it. When the United Nations came to Liberia and said, look, there is a need for us to, you know, disarm these people, rehabilitate them, reintegrate them. Some of these people, they jump out of that particular circle. The people like Gregory Coleman. So people like Gregory Coleman, they were not adequately rehabilitated one way or the other because of their association, their nefarious deeds that attached them to individuals who at the end of the day was able to catapult them into the Ellen Lair regime. They didn't go through the serious process of rehabilitation, of reintegration. They just jumped from disarmament straight in government. So you found out that these outlandish, you know, these very, very foolish comments will be coming from people like Gregory Coleman. It is unfortunate, but it is not strange. We all know who Gregory Coleman is. We know his behavior. This is somebody who went to Kinjal and massacred the people. And this India could not come up to tell the Liberian people that, look, XYZ, nothing he said. This is somebody who ordered police to go to a brother who was mentally, who had some mental challenge. And they shot down Matthew Moluba 8 times in his stomach. At the end of the day, what became of it? This is the same Gregory Coleman who at the end of the day, when J. Brian McGill raped a 14-year-old girl, the former deputy minister for Ministry of Youth and Sport, this is the same Gregory Coleman who took certificate and gave it to this particular guy and said, oh my God, we set you free. Whoever Joseph Newman Boyka set free is free indeed. This is the same Gregory Coleman who was protecting Peter Bonjala, who sodomized a 15-year-old boy and left him on the beach to die. That is the same Gregory Coleman we're talking about. That is the same Gregory Coleman what we're talking about. The man will call a man Peter King, say Paul King, say, oh man, you know what happened? I beg you, I will delay the case here for 1 week or 2 weeks. Go destroy evidence. They are the Gregory Coleman we're talking about. So these people, they don't have respect for human lives and human dignity. They don't have respect for the rule of law. That is the modus operandi of the Unity Party. These people only displaying what in them. For you to look at serious-minded Liberians who are petitioning their government. In those groups, we have Unity Party people, we have how you call CDC people, we have even the conglomerations of Liberians. For you to sit on something you refer to as a camera to insult Liberian, Gregory Como, proud walketh after destruction. My brother, Will, you can take it from here. Proud, a walker after destruction.
Thank you, Prince. Yeah, thank you, Prince. You see, to be exposed, to know yourself, is very easy. The $19 million draws thing we're talking about, you don't see Gregory Como talking like that, wearing that funny uniform, in everything happening, regular report. When the protest was going to happen, he spoke. Oh, fellow Liberian, blah, 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 blah. Immediately protest finished, he came back to insult. Well, I'm playing the man and cause whole senator. Then Liberian he can cause. He just insulted Koga. Let me tell you now, his statement was very unprofessional and it warranted his forceful resignation or dismissal. No part of earth, no civilized society or police director can refer to the population as turning and minute when they're demonstrating a democratic right. No part of earth, I challenge anybody to have to go there, except in a dictatorial nations. What he did was very unprofessional and out of the war, it warranted his dismissal or forceful resignation. Because every country police director should be very neutral. Even when you occupy the position based on political appointment, your approach should be neutral. Your approach don't be biased. What he did was an insult to the Liberians that went to protest. He insulted them as police commander of the country. So that alone validates that he's not supposed to be occupying that position. So you see that. So that alone also validates he's a criminal that in collaboration with the drugs dealers in the country. Because everything he's doing, he's trying to downplay the protest against drugs. So he's finding every means to destabilize the people. So Gregory Como should resign. I think that should be the next step from the Liberian people requesting Gregory Como to resign. Or else, nobody leave on the road. Now the second thing, let me tell you something. One thing Liberian people are monitoring. No part of earth that police go arrest ordinary citizens. Then they in color clothes. That rebel nation can behave like that. Now I want to hook it on something. Day before yesterday, they went to arrest what the guy named Massacre. That guy, well, the CDC COP for the massacre. I saw people wearing color clothes arresting for the massacre. It's a dangerous thing to do. The only time, because for the massacre is an ordinary citizen, the only time you use color clothes security operator to arrest individual, like for example, the way they're searching for the drugs cartel. Those people are deep criminals. Now those people you use color clothes security on. Not men that for the massacre. That was the same thing that was displayed today among the protesters. Or men mixed with the protester wearing color clothes with gun on him. How can you mix in color clothes among the people with gun on you? And you think that the people will allow you to surface? Thank God, Gregory Como, admitted that it was a security operator who had a gun and they took the gun from him. That alone was a great point. What did Mobile Molo doing with your gun? You think Mobile Molo get time for the gun? When Mobile Molo wanted to keep the gun, we're not going to announce it. They were going to bet a police officer go your top for now to German, they are arrest Molo, people will jump on the street, you're releasing, he keep the gun. You can't do nothing. With the people are getting, Liberians are getting civilized in our country with respect to protestation, but it's like the people who go in are getting stupid every day with respect to understanding the population. One of them is Gregory Como. You should even be, right now, if the country was serious, you should even be questioning your security operative, who they took arms from. But what means? What made him for arm to be taken from him? Was he on duty? Was he on a mission? Was it a assignment area? You should be asking those questions. But you stay there, hey, Malu, it is not a threat. It's a warning. Malu get time for that gun. Malu come in to turn the gun over. That's why he make the announcement. So you space speaking. I think Gregory Cuomo is a very foolish man. Let me say it today. Cuomo not get sent. Cuomo need to resign from the police directorship. He's not. He doesn't merit that position. I thought the guy was a very sound man, but I'm beginning to realize that the guy is stupid. Sorry for my language. He's not sound human being. He should resign. La Brempo should demand for a resignation.
But bro, to just inject, just inject. The man's not even talking about the accident that happened. Where Liberians, Liberians were wounded.
Yes,
Forgot broke.
Yes,
He's not
yes.
even talking about it. So there's to tell you that the idiot called Grele Como, that
He needs to resign.
He's not even a human being. You're talking about the accident that happened that a Unity partisan ran through the people and broke people's legs. You're talking about it. Well,
it's sad. It's sad for our country. And the reason why I read for the massacre issue is one day people could get missing and they will say, we don't know because our color club people took the person. People should take note on that. Color club people shouldn't be arresting ordinary citizens. It's wrong. Those things then for deep criminals, like the way they're searching for the drugs cartel.
I think his lawyer signed for him because I was following somebody like following massacre.
Yes, for those things can be repeated in the future.
Yeah, right, bro. Priest, you're right. You guys are right. It's wrong. But this is the kind of country. Why they talking about freedom of speech? Somebody go express themselves. MPA and managing director meant that George, bro, you in public service. Anybody can say anything. Y'all say the same thing against CDC people. CDC officials, somebody want to arrest you, yeah? So people can express themselves. So arrest. And that freedom of speech, that see freedom of speech, that today all the people are benefiting, people are enjoying. You people benefited the same freedom of speech. So when it comes to you, the law must change. When you go to other people, so who you guys think you are? These United Party folks, who they think they are? So when the law comes to them, it should be different. So the same law you applied yesterday, that the same law said the law does not change. The law remains constant, not because of you, not because the United Party will change the law. You're talking about travesty of justice. What kind of travesty of justice are you talking about? When Musu Glorious Carting, Amos two of them were there. There's a complete travesty of justice. Today, all the things that happen here, the Samatua case. The Samatua was vindicated, but still they want to twist the case song away. So that when I travesty of justice, so that only you, so when I United Party, then I travesty of justice. What kind of people are they? Look at the impasse at the House of Representatives. When the Supreme Court, the highest arbiter of justice in the country, when the Supreme Court came out with a ruling that Kofa remains the legitimate Speaker of the House of Representatives. They wanted the Kofa should have done to get the number, to have a quorum. That was the issue. That was the sticker issue. But Kofa was illegitimate. And the executive, they sat there, Joseph Parker, the probably say, it is law, it's not a law. What the Supreme Court say or not, they will not work with Kofa. They don't want to work with Kofa. And today, so now what is that? Is that travesty of justice? Is that miscarriage of justice? Then the Arthur case, the very Arthur case, Gregor come on and pass it all around. Gregor come after the whole thing. You have police officers who were at the grounds of the Capitol building. But when after the burning of the Capitol building, who did you go for? You go for Fonati Kofa and all the guys them. You arrested them. Nobody for the LMP. You even called them for investigation to interrogate them because they were security officers. Today, with all of your evidence you claim to have gotten, today nothing you can prove that yes, those people committed the act. Nothing. That's why the case just dragging because the government cannot prove nothing. There's nothing substantive. Nothing substantive. Nothing, absolutely. But that's the kind of country we just need to keep praying and keep fighting for our country. Let's go to the line. And Prince, I don't know that the message in the chat room. Can we talk about it before we go to the line?
I think we can give our people heads up because we never had enough time, so we can give them heads up for next week. Yeah, sure, definitely. So, fellow Liberians, again, we want to always come here and extend thanks and appreciation to all of you who have been very supportive to, supporting whatever we do here. I want to say thank you so much. And the reason why we continue to strive to do better is because of your support, through financial, cash, and kind, moral. And that's why we continue to move on. But again, we want to say, hopefully by next week, we will be doing a late fundraiser. There are challenges to admit. It's not easy. Running a station of such is very, very difficult. One of the medium that you see stations are sustain is through advertisement, through advertisement. But unfortunately, this government, because of, the very evil deeds of this government, they have decided to block Kings FM from every angle. So you find that it is very, very difficult. Even while we are on, sometimes these people are using every technical means to be able to, kind of like block the signal. So it is not easy. And some of the things, like I said earlier, that sustain some radio station is this advertisement that is carried on and etc. And, because of what is happening, Kings FM continue to remain very focused and unbending in exposing the ills in society. So the government is blocking Kings FM on a serious note and some other friendly media institution. So to run the station is more like from each and every one of you. So it's not just easy to, it's not easy. Sometimes we need gas. Sometimes you observe that the station is not even on. Sometimes we are off. It's because of different, challenges that we are faced with. But we want to say thank you and want to appeal to you. Hopefully by next week, we want to do a serious fundraiser. We want to do a serious fundraiser where at least we want to raise some at the minimum, let's say the minimum, we want to raise $1,000, and we want to do that by next week. We should have put that out this particular week, but because of the busy schedule and how the whole thing we're not able to inform you. So we want to appeal to you. And next week, we want to begin that process of a serious fundraiser with at least the minimum of $1,000, because we need to do so many things. Make sure that our people have data, especially our OB crew out there. If today you saw, the team did a very good work covering all of the events there at the protest, a site. And all these things, they require finances. And in Liberia, it's not easy. Sometimes you just pull sometimes $10 in the phone before you go look, bang, bang, bang. It tell you say you are out of data. Yeah, all the people there. Worker government, not easy. So our people, our OB crew need to be out there. Sometimes they need to cover up stories. Even sometimes, we run out of fuel. We depend on you. So next week, please, let's get ready. We want to at least be able to ginger ourselves. So we want to appeal to our brother Newton Tokwa and also the team there. We will come on during the week to inform our people on one of Teachers Light, a presentation to at least be able to inform our people of the Friday event that we'll be doing. So next week, Friday, is going to be a serious, we're going to challenge ourselves. There are people here who have been doing it. We want to say thanks to all of you. You have been trying and doing exceptionally well. We want to appeal to you. Next week, let's get ready. Whatever little that we can do, we believe that, it will take us far, far away. Thank you so much. My brother, bro, I don't know if you want to throw a light on that.
Yeah. It's a good thing, because living an opposition life with the extreme group of people we have in government, can you imagine when these guys will take to the platform or government platform where you have to exhibit high level of maturity to talk like that and tell me what they're doing on a cover? So Kings FM Empire would never survive on these people until different government kind of power. That one power is a red line for them. So the only way we survive, we don't got to support it. So we just urge our people next week, let's make it big. And please let teacher like they'll create a space to do the publicity in next week before we even reach Friday. I think Prince can come out to talk about it a bit before we reach Friday, but we support that and let it be done. We can go to the land to talk to our people. Thank you.
All right. So yeah. So yeah, just to add to that before we go to the telephone line, like Prince said, and we are here and we are on the grounds, and we certainly understand what is happening in the country. And sometimes when you see, sometimes teacher will sit here and tell you it's not easy, it's rough, it's tough. And yeah, that's the fight. It's not easy in Liberia. Most especially under this kind of tyrannical government, the Unity Party government. Then you have an opposition radio station that is so critical on the government. The government will do everything to strangulate this radio station. In fact, that is what they have been doing. The government has done everything in terms of contract. We don't have contract for nobody, absolutely nothing. So when they rely on you, that's why we continue to be grateful to you, because you've been there, you've been our backbone. You have always been there, trying to render your little support, your will of mind, the little you can contribute. Even before we could transition here, you contributed, and we'll continue to be grateful to you, because that's why we always say we are in this together, and we'll continue to be in this together. From now to 2029, in fact, things will even get tougher than it is. But we depend on you. Teacher Lai will go to the court. He go do a legal also. Yes. Get something income. Every 5 minutes. Imagine every 2 days we have to use and something like 100 or 150, because even the transmitter, we have double transmitter. Even when the transmitter just inhale and exhale, one time when you take breath, that's something. The transmitter looking just like Gregor Common Police booth. Imagine. Yes. In fact, we have, I think, a few components in the transmitter that are blown off. We need to raise the money. How do we get the money to replace those? Because those components will enable wider coverage. Because once we don't have the component in the transmitter, it means we wouldn't be going anywhere farther. Yes. So it's not easy. So buying fuel oil, buying gasoline to sustain a radio station is not easy. But we can do it together. We'll fight it together. Yeah, we'll continue to fight it. So let's go to the line. So Friday, like Prince said, Friday. Yeah, before Friday, maybe the midweek, Prince will appear on one of the Teacher Live show, at least just to do a reminder about Friday's event. So we'll go to the line 0772-23-99-33, 0777-9803-75. And let's go to the women's line. This person is right here. Person slip up the line. Hello. Hello. Yes, good evening. How you doing? Yeah,
thank you very much. Thank you very much. We made it. The person said, "Oh, we don't play it." And the message I'm going to send to the world and the international community. We already finished our message. That we the women there with the white, that we the one love that ready for the news today. That we the one, the woman that said, Joseph got kicked off. Joseph got kicked off. And the woman are talking with you today. I will say, hey, make a kick off. We now go there, you can kick off. So we say our message going. We want independent investigation. We don't want government to investigate. They are here in a cookie jar. And we say, hey, and message already gone. But thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Let's move here. This person's on this line. Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Good evening.
Good evening. What's your name, my brother?
This is Lord D. Johnson, edition by Lawyer Pay, and I join you from my Popo congregation number 11, Kaba community.
Yeah, Lord, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Thank you. I want to say thank you to all of the protesters that went there today peacefully. They did well. May God bless them for standing for the country. And on behalf of my family and I want to publicly declare July 17, every year July 17 as a protest day in Liberia. Wow. This is a day that we know that Gregor Common that is birthday.
Okay, my brother, you slip off the line. Let's get to this person. Good evening. Good evening. Hello.
I hereby declare July 17 every year as a protest day in Liberia. Thank you.
Thank you so kindly. Let's go to the women's line. Hello. Good evening. How you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you so much for you and your guest. I did check for saying we made it today. That I never to play our right and era. I tell God bless me.
Wow.
The first one happened June, and I lose my job. But say, at least if the ends can eat, I can eat. So I pray that God should give every one of them strength to get on their feet back. Governor Kumar is a man that don't just say. I say that because why? He has family, he will think about other people. But he not care. Joseph Boakai need to advise that man or teaching.
Joseph Boakai will advise the man when Joseph Boakai they make a thing instruction from. Joseph Boakai they make a thing instruction from. So everything Gregory doing, Joseph Boakai telling him to do it.
Yeah, and he didn't want to do it. Only a family man, he's trying. So when I laugh in club, man, he say he's doing something. Yeah, thank you so much. God bless every one of you.
All right, thank you so kindly. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Let's move here. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, what's your name?
Yeah, the name remain constant. We are Safa Mane, calling from Iron Factory.
Yeah, go ahead quickly. 1 minute. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my brother, thank you for the topic on discussion. Yeah. The thing that they already proved to us, when brother was coming to power, he said, when LeBron gave him the position as president, there will be no more Liberia. So it's not excuse to us. But take what thank you that our president George Weah gave him the position for Liberia to see, for Liberia to know. But Judge Okomo, the police director, will not afraid of you. Liberia will not afraid of you. Liberia will not afraid of you. Yeah. But come 2029. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so kindly, my brother. Thank you. We appreciate. Thank you so kindly. Hello.
Hello, Newton.
Hello, what's your name, sir?
Thank you. The Common Board Chairman, my name is T1 P. Woli, member of the Constitutional Court of Justice.
T1, let's hear you.
You see, we didn't tell the judge of cocaine police director that we were carrying a whole lot of the protest. Now that the organizers of this protest, they are going to take all Liberians to the protest, whether we're 2 or 3. But the main fight, that after all their scare tactics, that Liberians were able to brace everything and give that message. And some of the message read that Boakai is a cocaine king. So I don't know whether they know that going to the international community that we in Liberia know that Boakai is a cocaine king. And I like how our big brother Prince placed it. Rosa Park in Montgomery, 1953, she alone sat on a bus seat. They were not thousands, now they were hundreds. Only she alone singing that message. And after that, 60,000 men and women boycott for 381 days about string of government. So, look, our bigger things come in smaller packages. It could be Liberia as set up into a much bigger one that just started small. So let him mock it now. Let him mock it now. Let it continue the way they are, and let's see what I change when I come. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so kindly, my brother. Thank you. We appreciate it. Let's move to this line, the Lone Star line. Hello.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. Edmond Kai, it's good to have you on this evening. Edmond, welcome.
Thank you, bro. Let me say hi to Prince and bro. That's good. You guys always coming up to flag the issue concerning Mama Liberia. That's good. Gregory Courtman is finally frustrated because after they are struggling with it, dropped the $19.2 million, which of course the concerned Liberian for Justice come to realize that about 500 worth of cocaine is in this country, and Gregory Courtman validated that earlier dispatch was made, and before this one, they will seize this one at the airport. So because people came up today to, among other things, which was called, the drug was one of the serious things our mothers pick up, and they were even falling down to the floor, saying that they need an answer. That has frustrated him because he is part of the cartel. He knows what is going on. So when people are pushing the issue of the cocaine, it irritates him until he wants to kill himself. But we will say to him, hey, don't kill yourself. You need to be investigator, arrested, in jail so that we can bring for you to eat. You don't have to kill yourself. Okay? Because I don't care what to do. It's hanging around their neck. So because the citizens are pushing this issue, they thought that it could have been just 1 week and then we let it go. Okay? So I don't care how you refer to the amount of people that turn out, whether they turn it, whether they wow. So I will tell. Greater Command also come to realize that gradually power is slipping out of their head. And they are clueless about solving the issue. And no, since the Grand Cheetah program, then today we did protest with all of the noise that came our way. Petrol bomb and this and that. The citizens brave themselves, were able to turn out to flare their issue to the international community. That is frustrating to them. They know in their cycle, they know that power is now slipping out of their head. And we told them the use of sedition and President Weah as their project. So you are here now, ending your 3 year, and so into next year, it's all about election. What can you do again? So they're going to be here frustrated, or then we can either they want to put it to the night. So very common is frustrated, thanks be to God for the guys that were so far started to arrest that guy that carry arms among us, and you better do that. So, you know, the guys are not good. I will even say that the pronouncement he made yesterday about petrol bomb, that was not true. It was a fear started to be the people to stay away because no some other security person will put out their intelligence. So if that was true, that could have been intelligence. It could have been an intelligence for him. But for the fact that when he put it out, that was a fear started that he was not way by security measures when you are using petrol bomb. What are you talking about? The United Party is associated with petrol bomb. So they were the one that prepared it to give it to him to scare it put away. But again, all we can say, glory be to God for fair weather today because the United Party people were praying for rain. But God being God, God was in this protest and the message gone. That what we are concerned about. The United States are aware that we are not satisfied with the cocaine that were discovered in our country. And we fled the issue, the message gone. So whether it was 2% or 5%, we don't care. The message gone across. So thank you, Nito.
Thank you, Edmoka. Thank you so kindly. We appreciate it. Let's go to the women's line. Hello. Hello.
Hi, Maxon.
Master the General. I'm okay.
Thank you for the recognition. This is Master Place. Let me say thanks to the Almighty God for today that carried us safely and brought us back safely.
So Master, were you part of the protest today?
But you asking protest, you asking
I want you to understand. General, you
so let me say to get it from it's a shame to get it from. It's a shame and disgrace that you see thousands of people out there and you cannot tell police to protect them. It was a disgrace to the government. And the whole world saw what happened to them. You cannot send people to go and commit our image as a protester. You can't do that in the country. The first thing get a common lie on us that they saw petrol bomb, they saw this, they saw that. But the person that was like petrol bomb you're talking about, they couldn't show on camera. And the first lie, I thought the section is going to 11 people. And so they were there at the Capitol building. They said there's no go-to to the martial ground. Amen. That's not for your parliament. Get it, come on. It is not for your money. I will tax for your money over there. People will pay for the tax for your money for every 11 years. You cannot deprive our right to go to the martial ground to send our message out there. And here people talking about the world plenty. No, we're not talking about political parties here, my son. Political parties and protest and labyrinth out. It will be on ship and they spend the people talking about they will not there, they will not plenty. People were almost saying political parties are playing protest in the country where you're broadcaster. So they say it will be so the system for the day. You will come out. They be like political parties playing protest. Now when they say the play protest, they say you see thousands people that were there, they were more than thousands. They were more than thousands. And the messages are already messaging, the message already born to the international community. That yes, indeed, the 3 years going the country, we go and give them, we need justice for the people that brought it just to the country. We don't want elaborate investigation to say, oh, get it more kind of investigation. No, but all the conflict will issue And we over there dead. Going to churches. We need our partner to come and tell us who got it drugs. And then put a calling needs. So the outside world and the calling needs and woman said people want to my hospital for the government asshole in America and they have a document. What need you hurry? Then you think we're believing you to come investigate, get the former? So they put it said it's gone, and they show they put on camera and they know everything today. It's from the angle. It's from the angle that rubber everywhere. People that they go to the Mabaru and they sell it around the spot. Why the police have Mabaru right there? You see what going on, my son?
Yeah.
You see what happening?
You're right, man, Sisi.
You see what happening? See that I just put right there. Say you don't go the man. Show the phone. Why the people gone for the man? Who go to police man officer go for him and in the public? Tell me. You think you can laugh to the phone? You can laugh to the people and food and so you happy when they want to protest? So we call it all of them. I think also let me say thank you to all of them. Don't our friends. They say we enough for them. But we don't want to friend and their friend. We are pressing and the process for our children for tomorrow. Not for us. No, the process is all worker and get it for more. It's wrong.
You're right.
So you can't say, oh, you go at capital bill all march of ground. You are there yesterday for the march of ground. You are there for Kobo yesterday and the march of ground. Nobody dropped you yesterday. Why will tell them to go there? Why you don't mention how to go there? So that's a deception, but we put it and we'll put on it and we'll get out of there. One of the two will make it with the people. The next thing they will get result one round they tell the petition. That's the petition. And left for that. It was a thing that they said to that. So we said kudos to those that tell us today. We said kudos to them. And we'll always be them at all. We'll not give out them to see result our country.
Thank you, man, Sisi. Thank you, there.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so kindly. I'll take a few more calls, then we cross over to our team from the diaspora for their parting comments. I'll take just a few more calls, beginning with this person. Hello.
Hello, this is Kings, right?
Yeah, this is Kings Evan. What's your name?
Thank you very much. My name is Jean Arthur.
James, go ahead. Quickly, let's hear you in 1 minute.
Yeah, thank you very much. Gregory is calling this man's government, but I don't know. For him, he doesn't know. Or he's a tall man. The president is a tall man. So if somebody advises me, and I know that advice, I got to investigate whether a person really loves me. When we're talking about protest, we're not talking about multitude. We're talking about the message within a protest. If he disregards it, then he's very insensitive. And people that gather today, the other protests they had, I don't want to call name, or ANC protests at SKD the other day. They were the one that were praising all the protests that were about 300 at the time. But something was normal. They want to say that man will handle it. If Bola continue to use Gregory Coleman, he will spoil his government because he's the worst good I ever seen in my life. I mean, myself, and I've seen police acting like that before. The police had to be persuasive. See the thing. He said he knew that somebody going to go with petrol gun. Why he let that other case down? Then he said the police were provoked. Which are the police that complain? If so, why he didn't announce it until the man had to announce his gun? You think we're stupid in this country? We are not stupid. Thank you very much, Joe, that went there. Thank you. I decided my people decided not to go because the number was okay. But since Gregory said the number not okay, he will know next one I will be coming. If the number not okay, why you put all the police on that today? Had they done that before? He ended other protests and we started.
Yeah, I know kind of police.
And the Satan.
Yeah.
He's so naive. He's not he's
I better let hold you there. No time. We'll take just two more. Let's go to the women's line and take one lady from here. Then we'll take the final.
Yeah,
hello.
Yeah, thank you, my children.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. You're taking off. We tell you walk up, come on. They've pocket enough for one. Enough for a pound. Enough for a pound. He is going where? If I buy it, we will buy it. The same as people to say that that's what is for our grandchildren. You are today. We die. Our day. Anytime we go over there, it's people. When you talk about one, it's just how to get one there. But what will screw there? Any people what put it on. But I will let that over. he will devil. You will have to see any good thing or thing you for that. No, I get out to walk behind. I know I am yourself. You pray for God. You will ask God. Okay, stay here. Come on, get out for him. Then you are ready. Come on, get out for him. You never get out for him.
All right.
Yes.
Okay,
You're talking about that.
My best, thank you. So we'll take the final call. First, the thing is, let me say the thing is, let me tell you, the police honor the code of ethics, right? Of law enforcement officers. The officers there, they have a responsibility. You know what gives the authority to the officer that the badge? But yeah, you may have the badge. The badge gives you authority. But beside the badge, another thing is needed. It's very important. You know what I said? And that particular thing will enable you to earn the kind of respect from the public, that the public will have confidence in the police. It is a character. The way you carry yourself as law enforcement officer, a good character earns respect of the public. That's the only way the public will have confidence in the police. You saw the other day, there was a riot between, I think, the AF and the police somewhere around there. Somewhere around the SKD. Yeah, SKD Boulevard. Not SKD Boulevard, but the SD Copper Road. Right to the intersection, SD Copper Road. Right on this route. Yes. Around the junction. That riot also, when they made it the very police officer, because they don't even know their own ethics. They want to misbehave on one AFL soldier. They made call to the barrack. They made a broad pick on that and not small flogging it. You saw people, group of people, civilians, they gathered there, they put clapping for the army people. The person say, yeah, you flog them. Man say, yeah. I'm a ponaka. And I'm small flogging that day. Gregor come had to run from Central to go to come down there. To come beg for them, for an officer. They flogging that day. Because you guys don't compose yourself correctly. So you continue to feeding. Yeah. And how the airport are flogging you out there, people are talking about why the airport beating the police. Because the police don't understand their code of ethics. The way you carry yourself. Law enforcement officers should be able to make good decisions. And those good decisions, nobody has to be seen before you make good decisions. Even when there's no one watching you, you should be able to make good decisions. That's what makes you law enforcement officer. The way you carry your professional integrity. But it's just reckless in your own. Let's cross to our team, man. Prince. Yeah, let's get.
Yeah, let's use this time to extend our thanks and appreciation to all those who turn up, for today's protests. They show indeed that their level of patriotism for a better Liberia cannot be stopped by this drug operative that is led by Gregory Gele Como. They show beyond all reasonable doubt that they are ready to ensure that Liberia is redeemed from this particular kleptocratic and this we call the narco operative that Bweka has surrounded himself with. The reason for which today Bweka refused to come is very simple. Bweka has no love. He is not a patriotic citizen, and such a man, you don't give a hang about how Liberians feel or not. There's a man, after traveling, he said he went for state visit in Turkey. He came back. In order to adequately brief the Liberian people, the next time we saw him, he was saying that in Songana bar, watching nude girls while people were smoking shisha behind him. But there's a man that say he loved Liberia. We must think Liberia, we must build Liberia, we must love Liberia. It is we that love Liberia and are thinking Liberia and building Liberia, because what Bweka is saying is just a scheme from his action. There's a man who said on his website, the executive mansion website, they must get rid of kush. Nobody must smoke kush around, whatever. But he went in an area where people were smoking kush, they were taking cocaine and smoking shisha, and he was comfortably seated. Can you imagine? He carried Katumu Bweka here in West. Then go to church. The man that travel, he said, Deacon, he traveled almost 10,000 miles in plane. I'm sorry?
No, I said in fact they are banned shisha. They banned shisha, but the person was sitting the smoking shisha at the Ministry of Health banned shisha.
Exactly so. After traveling almost, 5,000 plus miles from another country in plane, they men were not even brave enough. He said, deacon. He was not brave enough to even enter church to say, let's go to church service, let's have a good prayer and what have you. He went straight to the club. The worker is now using the presidency now as a kind of, I don't know. Look, this is disgraceful, my brother. Let me just stop here. But again, I want to say to our people, we will be here next week, Friday. We want to remind you, get ready. Let's do it big, my people. Get ready, prepare yourself, whether it be it $5, whether it be it $10, whether it be it $2, 100 Liberian dollars, or whatever. Let's prepare ourselves. Let's make it big on Friday. We will be here. We'll continue to remind you. We'll continue to inform you. Let's do it big on the Diaspora Talk on Friday. We'll reach out to our people so that this can be big. Just as you did it when we were moving from our, Broad Street location or from the intern location to where we are currently, you came in your number and you show up mightily financially. We want to say we can do it again. So we urge you on Friday, we will be here. We'll be dedicated specifically to that particular activity. So we hope that we will prepare ourselves so that all of us can come and show massive support to the King's FM. So to our family, we salute you. Thank you all who show up today for the protest. And I want to say kudos to the planner, Honorable Manuba Molu and his team. I want to say thanks. And, let's keep it going. Let's continue to put the word out there. Let's continue to hold this government feet to the fire. Even though these people are drug law, they don't respect law, they don't respect rules. But again, let's just continue to expose them. Thank you. My brother Nathan is over. Back to my brother, bro.
Please, thank you to be a part of the show today.
Yeah. Thank you, Prince. Oh, you were saying something about Bwaka John. I was laughing because I saw some people were praising his son. Prince, in real life, no son parent who born a child will pray for the child future to be a neckcloth sinker. You be sinking the neckcloth. Oh, maybe. Oh, ain't no kind of. No son parent pray for the children for the child future to be like that. But the parent can accept it when the child becomes stubborn with that funny attitude until they reach adulthood. Some of them can be criticizing Joe. We have some Timothy. We are playing for millions soccer. And they're praising funny man, Tantan Bwaka, who sinking in funny looking nightclub in Liberia. I don't know what's wrong with Liberia. And when you check thoroughly, most of them want to have child like that person. But jealousy and envy kills them. And let me tell you, my brother, that's how life look. The president left from, you see, God can expose people so many ways. The president came from a trip, they're talking about drugs. The men go in nightclub. Nightclub is association with drugs. Do you know alcohol is a drug?
Oh, yeah.
Alcohol is a drug. So God can be showing Labrenpo's son, but they don't pay attention. Bwaka said, I know how he entered that club. That was God wanted to prove something to Labrenpo, say, this is one of the godfather of the drugs. He in collaboration. That papa love money. Costa said yesterday, papa can say ego land. That papa $19 million job will be passing in Labro. You go to that man, say, papa, so can I let you people then go around with you will get your 1M ISA. He will close the eye, he will say, hey, that what you do? It will be in the country. As soon as they know, papa will be passing through and not being okay, then no problem. They want to actually be in the country. That's what he was saying. Those people then they are criminals. But it's hard to look at old person and tell them they're criminals. That's why when old person is a BM, they go to eat plenty of people. Because it's hard for you to look at one old man thing but man, they poison. Your eyeball can always be open on young people when they are criminal, not old people. That what's that there for you? Oh, 7 lunar clock. Challenge on the People Republic and damaging them. So I want to say thanks to Chairman Molu for the great protest, and he really doing well in civil society because he's one of the major civil society men right now that at least putting the government feet to the fire. And Chairman, we always support you. Sometime and everything we do, we will always support you. You're a good man. You're trying your best to hold the country, the government feet to the fire. And we say thanks to everyone today that participated in the protest. And thank you, and our heart up to the person who got hurt. And we want to say we are with you. And we want to say thanks to everyone that try to listen and try to always do. Let's keep our finger crossed and keep fighting. Once again, happy birthday to Dr. Tukpan Antipote, one of the great statements of our nation. We still remember you in history. Thank you, sir. And good night.
Thank you. That's the man, Willem Bro from France. So, folks, that's all the time we have to be here. But, folks, like we will always continue to say, this is our country. We got to fight for our country, right? Nobody, like we always say this, that absolutely nobody will fight for us. We got to fight for ourselves. Don't mind those reckless police officers. While it's true that there are some, trained, they have trained, police officers. They are trained ones. But the reckless ones outweigh the trained ones. That's the thing about the police. Most of them, that's why there's no restriction. Anybody that wear uniform. Somebody that ain't police officer, but they get police uniform. Somebody that all around collecting money from people, they in police uniform. But they are not police officers. They are not trained. They have not gone through the rank and file. So they don't know the code of ethics. So most of them just sit there to do whatever they want to do. And these are things that are carrying our country, that are retrogressing our country. Instead of us progressing, we are retrogressing. We are going back. And this is my piece of advice to Greg. History teaches lessons. And I say again, history teaches lessons. It sends warning. There have been powerful police IG more than you, Jote. We were kids, but then doing Jote Chancellor Day, Jote. We used to hear about Jote. As soon as yesterday Jote come, if he tested your house there, you'll be general president, you'll pack off the road. Jote. Very powerful. Where's Jote today? We heard about Genghis Khan. At the end of the day, what happened to Genghis Khan? All of the fame left him. Everything went away. All of the convoy, the expensive car, the gas, the people that used to move away, they still carry the gas. He began to eat from the dump site. This life we live in is temporary. That's why whenever you're doing, whatever you do today, think about tomorrow. What happens tomorrow? The negative impact might not come to you, but you have children. You have grandchildren. That's why people judge people sometimes based on their parental background. Have you not seen it? It happens. That's why sometimes when you go somewhere, people ask you, what's your name? Whenever you call your name, they say, who's your father? When the father is a bad person, if that person knows your father to be a bad person, if maybe you in need of help, the person wouldn't help you. Because it was not you who committed that bad, but the bad your father committed has reflected on you. It happened. When the father that bad man committed, nobody want to associate with you because you are a child. That man is all that bad man's son, that wicked man's son. You go draw water from somebody where they say, also, that wicked part, you go to your house, you move from here. Because that reflection. So everything you do today, you will not remain in government forever. There were police RG before you, and there will be police RGs before you, Gregory. You'll leave public service, you'll live private life. Whenever you're in public service is temporary. That's why whenever you're in public service, you must think about private life. You spend most time in private life than public service. Let us so maybe 3 or 4 years or 6 years, a police RG, they might change you. When you should have left this position, you should be asking yourself, how am I going to live in the community of my people? You live an ordinary citizen, but then you live private life. That's why, have you not seen people in the midst of people that still feel lonely? Because they are not secure, because they are not protected. Have you not seen it? There are people who are in the midst of thousands of people, but they still feel lonely because nobody comes to them. Nobody goes around them. Why is it true that they're in the midst of a group of people, but they're still feeling lonely? Nobody have their time because the way they live their life. It's about life. Life is not about today. And everything you're doing today, you must think about your family, your children, your children's children, your grandchildren. That's why you should live, always live a simple life. That the day you pass off, you no more, the day you die, at least your children, your family will continue to benefit from the way, the manner and form in which you live, the legacy you left behind. See, police people all around here, beating, brutalizing people. No. Where will we go? You see, other countries are sending, black police for a peacekeeping mission. When will Liberia send police officers? Because we have not reached the standard. Our police is not trained. Our officers are not trained. So that's why we got to keep fighting for that country. They all I want to say is that it's a code of ethics of police. I'm not a police officer, but I think I have little knowledge. If I'm a police officer today, I'll perform more than some people who not spend more than 10 or 15, 20 years. I'm not bragging about it. That's the reality. That's the reality, folks. Code of ethics. Some police officer in uniform, they don't even know what they call code of ethics. You ask them, police officer, what do they call code of ethics? What are your code of ethics? Nothing. They will not, nothing they will tell you. Absolutely nothing. They will tell you. They don't know for. They know what they say for in the real Liberian parlance. For. We mean nothing. They don't know for. The code of ethics is just simple. The code of ethics is the moral principles that guides the behavior of law enforcement officer. That's code of ethics. It reminds every law enforcement officer to be what? To be professional, to act honestly, fairly, professionally. So that's the moral principle. That's what they call code of ethics. That moral principle that guides every law enforcement officer to act honestly, fairly, professionally. But we got to keep fighting for our country, folks. That's all I have to say. We got to keep fighting for our country. We shouldn't give up. This is the only country we have. And nobody, absolutely nobody will face this country for us. We ourselves, we got to face our country. Nobody will face this country for us. We got to do it together. So that's all the time we have to be here with you. Thanks. Like you listen to Prince, Sharif, and Bro. So we look forward to seeing you Friday. This coming Friday, we want to do something like a little fundraiser. Yes, we want to do, yes, just for the upkeep, for the sustainability of the radio station. AB has been doing extremely well. Imagine, AB will take his own, just to make sure that the station does not go off. So we got to keep fighting. And we want to appreciate you for your continued support. You continue to help, you continue to provide. Yes. So we just want to be, appreciative to you. We are so grateful to you, and we will continue to be grateful to you. I appreciate all of you for the hard work. Let's keep fighting. We shouldn't give up on our country. Let's keep fighting for our country. On that note, have a set of pleasant weekend. I wish you all of the best. I look forward to, like we said, the Independence Day, just few days. Today's the 17th. Yeah, just few days. I think roughly about 9 days. Yeah, 9 days for now. So the 26th will fall on Sunday. So Sunday, it will be celebrated on Monday. So imagine if I in the country 26 coming, go around and go. Just go add people who are selling market test. No buyers, no money, whole country high. Parents do not have money to even buy for their children. It's difficult. It's difficult for our country. The economy has collapsed. What can we do to resuscitate the economy for our country? How do we resuscitate the economy for our country? We got to keep fighting for our country. We shouldn't give up. Yeah, you're right. Mount Dorothy, those are you. Yes. Let's keep fighting. Let's keep supporting our own. Because that's the only means. And this is the only medium that we're able to sit here to talk to our people, to educate them. If King's Ever is not on, how do we sit here to give you information? This is the medium by which we sit to provide the information to you. So let's keep fighting for the sustainability of our own and for the survivability of our country, Liberia. Thanks ever so much. My name is Newton Tokba. Have a set of pleasant weekend. Bye-bye.